I'm Marva Hoops, your instructor, facilitator through this next course, MAFM532, Ministry of Family. I'm new to the Berkeley College family, but very excited to join this graduate school experience. You can read my biography in that section, but here's a few fun facts. My grandfather, Scott T. Clark, was one of the first presidents of Friends Bible College, now known as Berkeley College. A later president was Sheldon Jackson, and he was my mom's first cousin. And then my mother and father, Lucy and Alvin Anderson, both taught at Friends Bible College in the 1950s. My uncle Roy Clark taught in the music department, directed the Friends Bible College choir at that time. And then in the next generation, my brother Paul Anderson has taught several online courses here at Berkeley. He's a professor of New Testament and Quaker Studies at George Fox University. I have several cousins too who are graduates of FBC as well. So I have a great sense of coming home, being part of this college, and I'm very excited about leading this course. And what a great course it is. Ministry with Family, the family, is such an integral part of the church, of society, and the world. We'll begin with defining the family, and then we'll examine that fascinating circle of family dynamics through the lens of family systems theory. Starting with the nuclear family and then moving to the extended family, we will look at what comprises healthy relationships, family themes, family myths, cultural and ethnic influences, and a host of other dynamics that shape the family unit. Our core assumptions and conclusions in this course have biblical and theological underpinnings and understandings. So we ask questions like, how do we help families? How has this happened already? And how can we best do this in this current environment moving forward? We have some goals for the course. We want to develop biblical, theological foundations for family and family ministry. 2, we want to describe the dynamics, the historical realities, the contemporary status of the family. 3, we will evaluate various models of family ministry. And 4, explore best practices for family ministry. We'll develop a personal, biblical, theological foundation for family and family ministry. And finally, we will develop personal family ministry philosophy and model. Great goals. Now some details. As we progress through the course, there'll be some great ways to learn and interact with one another. So this will involve process the reading. Read the books, yes. Look for content, but you don't have to memorize the main points, so you won't be tested in that way. But you will discuss what you've read in the book through our discussion board, offer comments, reflections on what others have posted as well. 3rd, reflect on what you've read and offer an essay using the questions provided to guide your writing. Watch the videos and read those recommended articles that will be posted, and these will add to your understanding of the concepts. Each week, please reflect on the material you've read and processed and summarize it in an essay. At the beginning of each week, we will participate in a spiritual formation experience that we call Our Time with God, OTWG. This is a section in which each of us will be able to share things like how we've heard God the Father speaking to us, ways the Spirit has directed us and our thoughts, our affections, how Christ has worked to transform us. You can share praises and prayer requests or spiritual perceptions you've received. Maybe a certain scripture has stood out to you lately, or you've received a new insight in prayer. Please share how you've been blessed, and you'll be a blessing to the rest of us. These are always due by day 2 of each week. As part of this course, there are 3 important projects we'd like you to tackle. First, construct a genogram. That's a visual map of your own family. And as you construct this, you'll see how you fit in the larger picture of your extended family. You'll be able to reflect on the implications of what you've discovered. This will be due in week 3. The Family Ministry Practice Project is our second project, and this we're asking you to investigate a certain specific aspect of family ministry which you are interested in, and then create a plan for that ministry that could be implemented. You'll be able to share your plan with fellow students, so you'll benefit from what others have researched and concluded. You'll find instructions for that in module section in week 3, but it will be submitted in week 4. But I really encourage you to think about this and begin earlier, as this will take some time. We're asking you to do 3 interviews with people involved in this specific ministry, conduct some research, develop a ministry plan, and do some thinking about what area interests you. And even as you read through the assignments in the text material, your antennas can be up to see how you can see how others are addressing the topic. Third project is your final paper on theology of family and your philosophy of family ministry. This will require you to synthesize all that you've encountered through the course and conclusions that you've reached as to how family ministry can be most effective in the church and in ministry settings. It's to be submitted the final week of class. Textbooks. We have some really great textbooks to give us relevant information, current thoughts and discussions that will lead to some great conclusions. We'll begin with Diana Garland's seminal work, Family Ministry, A Comprehensive Guide. It is comprehensive. Garland taught for many years at Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky, and she spent her last years at Baylor University in Texas. She passed away in 2015 at 65 after a 5-month battle with pancreatic cancer. But she was committed to preparing social workers in Christian context for worldwide service and leadership, seeing how social work and the church are intertwined. And she proposes that the strength of the Christian family is rooted in faith and nurtured in their congregations. Garland believes that the Christian families gain strength in part because of their communities of faith. So don't let the size of the book scare you. It is very readable. She inserts many personal stories and observations illustrating her points. And, her conclusions are vital to understanding family ministry, how it's developed, and how it can be effective today. You're really going to enjoy this read. A second book that we'll be working on is Perspectives on Family Ministry, 3 Views. It's edited by Timothy Paul Jones. He's a significant name in educational ministries today. And he calls on practitioners Paul Renfro, Brandon Shields, Jay Struthers, and Kevin Jones. And they offer 3 models of ministry which can work in churches today. Now, part 1 is about the foundation for family ministry, so we'll look at that first. Part 2 then covers the 3 different views of how that ministry could happen. Now, when you read this, don't just read it to find, well, which one do I like best and I don't like the others, or I like this one but not those 2, or I like a combination. Instead, why don't you think of how would this model work best? How would each of these models work best, and in what kind of setting? What are the strengths and weaknesses of each model? Where are these models present currently? Have you seen them operating anywhere? Or maybe, how would I use this model if I were on staff of a church using this very model? You need to think about the people each model is trying to reach and how it could be most effective. It's an interesting read. I know you're going to enjoy it. The third book is a favorite of mine, The Family, A Christian Perspective on the Contemporary Home. It's by Jack and Judith Balswick. Judy is a licensed marital family therapist and has spent her life counseling others on how to be effective in their relationships. Jack is a family sociologist, and he's invested his efforts in teaching and doing research in the areas of family life and ministry. So this husband and wife couple come out of Fuller Theological Seminary, And they offer some great insights on family dynamics and various stages of human development, all through the lens of biology, psychology, sociology, and cultural factors, but based in a biblical worldview. Now, since many of you have had, or maybe will have, a course on marriage as it relates to family ministry, the chapters on marriage in this book are optional readings. I do recommend them, though, as the Boswicks have a really significant discernment of marital dynamics. We just won't be discussing those in this class in order to focus on the larger family dynamic. The fourth book has become a favorite of mine as well. The Storm-Tossed Family, How the Cross Reshapes the Home by Russell Moore. Moore is currently the president of the Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission of the Southern Baptist Convention. He previously served as provost and dean of Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky, where he taught theology and ethics. He's from Mississippi, and Moore and his wife Maria are parents of 5 sons. 2 are adopted from a Russian orphanage. Now, this book is not what I would call academic, but it is certainly relevant. Moore has a rather cumbersome writing style, but he inserts so many captivating stories that just really engage the reader. His conclusions are worthy of our consideration, and we want them to help form our family ministry principles. Again, as with the Boswick and Boswick text, we'll make the chapters on marriage optional readings, but they are good and you'll want to read them at some point. If you wish to communicate with me, I would welcome that. Please do feel free to contact me. If you need an immediate answer, text is the best way, and my number is listed there in the information at the beginning, 330-904-6444. But do remember, I live in Ohio, so I'm on Eastern time, and so translate that to whatever time zone you are in, and try to limit your texting between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., please. Or you can email me, and I will get back to you within 24 hours, and that email is marva.hoops, don't forget the E in hoops, H-O-O-P-E-S, at barclaycollege.edu. So, that's the overview of Ministry with Family. I hope you'll find the experience engaging, exciting, relevant, and I look forward to getting to know each of you through our various interactions. God bless you as you dive into the family.